The Arizona Wildcats opened up their 2025 college football season. The wait is officially over. That means Brett Brennan has entered year 2, trying to right the wrongs of the previous season where Arizona went an underwhelming 4-8. They welcome back Noah Fifita, a bunch of guys on offense and defense, but yet 61 new players total on the roster. Not only was there a roster mix-up for Arizona, but the coaching staff as well. Dino Babers out, Dwayne Aquina out, Seth Dagey in, Danny Gonzalez promoted from linebacker coach to defensive coordinator, and let's not forget Joe Salavea being hired as associate head coach / defensive coordinator. Now, we've broken down training camp. We've seen a bunch of mixing and matching offensively, defensively. So with Arizona opening up against Hawaii, it was the perfect opportunity for Arizona to continue to do that. Get a number of guys in, see how they react to live game situations like the true freshmen, transfers that they weren't sure about, and a live game situation under the bright lights of Tucson with the Zona Zoo rocking, the fan section rocking, and honoring a former Wildcat legends. You know, one of the things that they wanted to focus on during the offseason was seeing how this receiving corps would react to trying to catch the ball under the bright lights of Arizona Stadium because they have low-hanging lights. And, you know, not a lot of drop passes today, but let's get into the game. Arizona opened up the season with an impressive 40-6 win over Hawaii. That puts Hawaii at 1-1 on the season. Arizona is now 1-0 on the season, starting the year. You know, it was a bag of mixed reviews for the Wildcats. Let's start with Noah Fifita. Last year, he had issues. He had interception issues. He had sack issues. It was an up and down year for Fifita. Now, this Seth Dagey offense seems to match his skill sets a little bit more. A lot of quick passes, getting the ball out, a lot of timing routes, getting the ball out, and not a lot of sitting back and waiting for 4 verts to get open. However, again, like last year, there's some ups and downs. But again, you're learning a new system. It's Noah Fifita's 3rd year now at Arizona as a starter, and this is his 3rd different play caller as an offensive coordinator, from Jed Fish to Dino Babers to Seth Dagey. So he was able to go 13 of 23, miss a couple open passes where it could have led to some touchdowns, some open guys in the flats where he overthrew them just a little bit. He had 161 yards total passing to go along with a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown. Although he has been more vocal on the field and being able to use his legs a little bit more than last season, in college football, sacks count against you towards your rushing yards. So he did finish with negative yards rushing, but he was a little bit more mobile out there today, had that rushing touchdown, I believe, of 10, 15 plus yards, somewhere around that total. But you know what? For him, overall, I think when you're learning a new system, and it's your 3rd year learning a new system, and you're trying to get the groove of everything, it doesn't just take one off season. It takes a few games during the season. So I'd give him a B-. I thought it was a pretty good game for Noah Fifita. Were there issues? 100%. Was there room to grow? Yes. Could he have played better? Yes. But overall, this looks like a better Fifita than last season right now. He's more in control of the offense. He's more in control of the offensive line, and he has a clear understanding of the playbook. It's about getting the timing down and getting comfortable with the play calling. Now, Arizona's offense overall, even though the passing game was up and down, the running game was clicking. The top 3 running backs for the Cats had 6+ carries, and they totaled 199 yards for 3 touchdowns. And, you know, Quincy Craig was the star back for Arizona today. 7 carries, 125 yards, and he broke off a 54-yard touchdown run that kind of got things going. That was the second score for Arizona, getting things going there. And, you know, there was times where the offense seemed out of rhythm, but overall, if you're able to put up 40 points in your opening game against a Hawaii team that held Stanford to 20 and won that game 23-20, that's an impressive feat. Hawaii isn't a pushover team. Are they a great team? No, but it wouldn't surprise me if they're a bowl-eligible team at the end of the season. So Arizona was able to take care of things offensively. Offensive line, we saw improvements there last season. Arizona allowed 28 sacks. That's 2.3 sacks per game. Tonight, they allowed 2 tonight. So if you average that out across the whole entire season, that's 24 sacks on the year. So that's 4 less. That's not the number I'm sure the coaching staff is looking for. So we need to see improvements there, but it's a lot of growth there. Now there's guys like Rhino Tapatoa that were not playing. There are guys like Jordan Brown that weren't playing as well. So let's see how the offensive line looks in a couple weeks when it gets healthy. Now let's flip it over to the defensive side of the ball, where Arizona, they looked really good. I thought last season they looked uncomfortable. They were sitting back and waiting. Danny Gonzalez has this defense attacking. They're attacking at the point of attack. They're getting in the backfield. They created 5 sacks tonight, with 4 different players coming up with 1 sack and then 2 players coming up with a half a sack. They're able to slow down the Hawaii rushing game. I don't have the total right there in front of me right now, but Hawaii couldn't get anything going offensively. They didn't score a touchdown for the game. That's 2 field goals. That's the first time, I think, in about 4 or 5 years that Arizona hasn't allowed a touchdown to an FBS opponent. Very impressive game for the Wildcats. Not only were they able to get in the backfield 5 times, but they came away with 5 takeaways as well, creating 5 turnovers, 5 sacks. You're going to have a lot of success defensively, and it's going to lead to a lot of victories in the near future. So overall for the Wildcats, I would give them about a B-. Solid game, room for growth. Now you get Weber State. That's the game where you should have all the things tuned up, ready to go, working on things that have been where they've been some issues. Get that going, because the week after that is Kansas State. So you have one more tune-up game before the real deal happens. And no offense to Hawaii, no offense to Weber State, but Kansas State's a different level. They're 1-1. They've been struggling, so you might get them in a bad mood, and you got to prepare for the Kansas State Wildcats. But we'll have more coverage throughout the week as Weber State comes around the corner. Make sure to follow us on Arizona Wildcats on SI, our Twitter handle, Arizona Wildcats on SI, or follow me, Troy Hutchison, at THutch1995, and we'll have more coverage this week.